I've just been picking some Black Sapote from this tree here, and I found a few that I thought were ready to pick, and I also found an experiment. Let me show you what, even though this is a fairly small fruit, this is what I consider ready to pick. I wait for the top to lift off of the fruit a little bit. And usually there's the one side right here. And if you can't see it, you can see that this paper just slides right underneath there. Same with this part. You see that you can see daylight right through that area. So anyway, that will ripen up fine. What I found from this tree especially is that I'm finding fruit that is ripe on the ground, and a lot of times it doesn't pass that test. You know, the top is still holding tight to the fruit itself. So there's the experiment. We had a lot of fruit that split because of change in rainfall and such. It's been very dry, so when we do get rain, the fruit splits a little bit. So instead of leaving these on the tree, I just took them off. I've had a lot of these type of fruit that ripened perfectly fine. It's fruit that I don't sell though, because this is just, you know, big cracks in the skin, sometimes all the way around. So these fruit were not saleable. This one is not saleable. It looks very flat on top. Looks like, was that a beefsteak tomato? I don't know. Sort of not knowing my tomato varieties at this very moment. But anyway, it's really sunk in there. Oh, that one goes in the other box. For some reason it got into that one. As you can tell, the top is just lifted right off. So that one was definitely ready to pick. Will these ripen? I think they will, but we'll see. It's fairly late in the season. So let's go back over here, which this was the floor of the golf cart fruit that was picked too young, and see what's inside of this. So well, that looks like it should. Looks like the perfect ripeness. Let's see if it's the perfect taste or not. Of course, my teeth are going to be black after eating this. So. Okay, so I'm just taking out the little seed casings right now, because, you know, while they're edible, I prefer not to eat them. And let's see about the taste here. That's what it should look like. And let's see if it tastes like it should. Yeah, actually, that's pretty good. I would say it's actually a tiny bit overripe, because they get sort of a little bit of a jelly-like consistency. And so if it had been this morning, it would have been perfect. So this tells me that the Black Sapote fruit can be picked sooner than I normally pick it. So I've got other ones that I can try down the road, but this one that from 5 days ago or so is working out well. I think actually, since this one seemed to be the one I just cut up seemed to be a little bit overripe, I will try this other one and see if this is the perfect ripeness. It looks pretty good. Sometimes when it looks like this, it's not quite as ripe as I'd like it to be, and if that's the case, I just put it in the refrigerator for a few hours and it ripens up the rest of the way. But I think this is going to be good like it is. perfect. So it's hard to tell. For me, this is the first time doing this pick it early experiment, but because fruit, when it's picked a little bit later, has a different look to it. But this is the one, the smaller one that was riper, and it's a little bit past the stage that I like it. And this one was just perfect. As you can tell where the spoon was, you get a glistening look to the fruit. And you know, as you just spoon it out, it gets very creamy. And this smaller one has the beginnings of a jelly-like thing going on. And, you know, I just think they taste better at this stage. So 10 days ago, I picked some Black Sapote that looked a lot like this, except for this particular one is the top is starting to lift off of the fruit, and so that would be a signal that I would normally pick a fruit at this stage. But the fruit that I picked 10 days ago that were cracked, the top was firmly attached to the fruit itself, so that would be earlier than I normally pick the fruit. So 2 of those fruit look like they're ready to eat, and so today I'm going to taste them to see if they are actually tasty. So I'll do one at a time because I'm not that good with juggling. So far this is looking pretty normal. I generally don't eat that center part, but let's see how this tastes. I do not detect any off flavors at all, and yeah, it's a tasty fruit. So basically, at least this one, I see if it gets that nice shiny quality when you just mash it up a little bit. That's when it starts looking like chocolate pudding. So anyway, this one is wonderful, and let me check on the other one to see if we have the same situation. So this right here, this area I think would not taste good. When it has a different consistency like this, generally I don't like the taste. So that just happened at the top of the fruit. It, you know, see how it's firmer? I mean, you know, this part, the spoon just easily goes into, but toward the top, it's not going to be good. But I think the rest of the fruit is going to taste fine. Oops, I got a little bit of skin in there. There we go. Yep, that's a good fruit too. So basically, my question was answered. I was wondering if picking Black Sapote much earlier than I normally do would actually produce the same quality fruit, and it seems to have. I do want to mention though that when I was picking the fruit, the ones that seemed very light for their size, I did not pick. You know, you can sort of get a feel for that on the tree itself before you cut it off, but certainly you can tell that after you cut it off. In my experience, the ones that are too light never ripen right. It's just they tend to dehydrate as they age. But anyway, these are good Black Sapote. One of our YouTube viewers recommended eating the seeds of very immature Black Sapote, and he said in the very immature stage, very green, young Black Sapote, the seeds are actually sort of translucent, and he says they're delicious. So this is one fruit that I'm gonna cut open and see if the seeds are still young. And if not, I'll try and find a younger fruit. So here's the old wrinkled fruit that fell off the tree. I can't take responsibility for this particular one, but let's see what's inside. It's getting soft. Let's see if we can find a translucent seed. Sometimes the small fruit don't have any seeds at all. Yeah, I'd say that this was not the fruit for the seed project. Nothing was formed in there. So anyway, that gets to be food for the plant. Here's the one that I thought was the lightest out of the group. Yeah, still think that. So let's see what we have here. Hopefully I don't impale myself. This is crispy stage. Okay, so far not seeing the seeds. Got that nice star pattern in the middle, but not seeing the seeds, so can't taste the seeds if I don't have them. Also, I can't be poisoned by the seeds if I don't taste them. But yeah, so anyway, that part of the experiment I can't do at this point in time. I'm gonna keep looking for immature fruit, possibly a little bit larger than this, and maybe that will have seeds, but I'm not sure if this season is going to be the time for that or not. So I just picked a young Black Sapote from our other Black Sapote tree, and I'm hoping that this one has seeds in it. This particular tree that the other fruit came from, a lot of those fruit do not have seeds, and our other tree is a more reliable source of that. So let's see if we're lucky. So far, I'm just accelerating decomposition here. Nope. Obviously, these fruit are not right ones for this experiment, as this is all we're getting is nice star pattern there. That's the little sacs around the seeds, but no seeds themselves. It's interesting though, remember just a second ago how I'll carve off a little bit of this fruit here. That is just a matter of what, 5 or 10 seconds, and it discolors that much. Crazy. So that's it for today with our little Black Sapote experiment. Check out our Black Sapote video that we have that is a great source of information for all sorts of things about Black Sapote, and how to pick it, where it grows, where it is from, and all sorts of uses for it. We even have Black Sapote in recipes. So anyway, as I say, that's it for today. Enjoy your Black Sapote.